in the last game. Even though he didn't make shots, he brought a lot to the table.
I think he still ended up finishing with 16 points in that ball game, so he was still a factor for sure. Opening possession goes here to Vanderbilt.
Commodores running a little pick-the-picker action.
No good for Miles Studi. Here's your starting five for Loyola Chicago here tonight. As mentioned, the star is Lucas Williamson, 6'4" from Chicago, Illinois, 11.7 points per game. He's knocked down about 20 triples so far this season. Watch out for number 1 for the Ramblers.
As I said before, he's a really good player. He plays within himself. He's going to be solid. He's going to be very disciplined and try to minimize mistakes.
Well, Vanderbilt has been good with steals so far. They've been good defensively throughout the course of this season. They've been a top 5 SEC team. They get a steal on that first offensive possession for the Ramblers.
Scottie Pippen Jr. really showing some poise right there. He could have probed the defense a little more, but decided to pull it out and run some offense.
Lawrence kicks up top for Pippen, fires a 3 and connects. Scottie Pippen Jr. on the board first here for the Commodores.
Scottie Pippen Jr. coming out showing some aggressiveness on the catch. He put it up. He knew he wanted to be aggressive. He knew he was going to get the shot attempt. He got himself low and knocked down the three-point basket.
First personal foul called against Scottie Pippen Jr. It was interesting the other night for Scottie Pippen Jr. played 29 minutes, the second lowest of the season. If you erase that first game against Alabama State, it was the lowest total of the season.
Well, he wasn't feeling well in that game either. You know, he came out a little under the weather, and with COVID, it always makes you a little nervous. The guys are getting sick.
Triple goes down there for Lucas Williamson. So you're starting 5 here for. That's 1,000 career points by the way for Lucas Williamson.
Very few players reach 1,000 points, so for him to be able to do that and show that he can play consistently is a huge feat for him.
Off and running here for the Ramblers. Here's Braden Norris with the kick that goes to the left corner on the drive for Kennedy, a kick out.
As you can see, Loyola Chicago coming out very, very poised. They know where they want to go with the basketball. They're swinging it quickly. They're getting it from side to side, and they're finding guys when they're open.
Oh, good cut and a good finish by Jacob Hudson. The sophomore from Minnesota finishes at the rim. Starting 5 here for Vanderbilt now. Of course, Scottie Pippen, he's accented by Jordan Wright, Miles Studi. And if he can get his shot going, that's an excellent compliment for Vanderbilt. We've seen that this season with Miles Studi knocking down some triples.
Well, he's certainly capable of knocking down shots at a high clip.
Pippen again. Off the back iron, no good, and a rebound by Williamson.
Scottie Pippen Jr. has so much in his bag. He gives you all the fakes. You got to be very, very disciplined playing against him.
One more look at that triple knockdown by Williamson that gives him 1,000 at his career. Really good shooter. Nice quick release that time with confidence. Guard from Chicago has knocked down 20 triples here this season.
Well, he's not going to take any bad ones. He's not going to force it, but when he's open, he's going to shoot it with confidence.
Guy, too, that's coming into his own after kind of being option number 2 the past couple of seasons. He is the clear leader of this crew. And a foul is called against Loyola Chicago. This one goes.
Quentin Malloy Brown out there playing defense, getting his hands active, locking down the guard on the wing. You don't see it too often, but in Memorial, you might see a lot.
Could see anything at here. Goes against Hudson, his first personal foul. Here's Wright slicing. That one spills off the cylinder, no good that time.
Jordan Wright showing you that great footwork on the inside. He's done a lot of work in the offseason on his post-up game.
Triple is good. Ugwa kicks it and knocks it down.
The Ramblers are doing a great job of running their offense. Regardless of what the Commodores do, they're going to drive it, they're going to kick it, they're not going to let the ball stick. That's a sign of a well-coached team.
Boy, what a take by Scottie Pippen Jr. Finds the angle, finds the spot, and finishes for two.
I said it before, he's got a lot in his bag. He's going to show you all the fakes. He can finish going full speed at the basket, getting downhill, but he can also get you off your feet and out of position once he gets to the basket.
Ramblers by 3 after the miss. All 5 points so far for Vandy have come from number 2, Scottie Pippen. Boy, if that goes, almost knocked it down through traffic.
Tough shot, but he's definitely got it in his game.
Three-point attempt is good. Braden Norris right on through. He connects from distance, the transfer from Oakland.
Tell you what, there's a lot to like about the Ramblers offense. They're playing within themselves. Again, well coached, running their offense. They know where the shots are going to come, and they're going to shoot them with confidence.
Again, it is interesting for a team that's been defined by their defense under Porter Mosier. First-year head coach Drew Valentine has done a great job instituting his offense, 80 points per game. Pippen.
Schools, Loyola and Vanderbilt and Pearl High School are their sports history. It's American history. You know, when Pearl had 4 black starters in the 1963 NCAA championship game, love to see that after we're talking. That was a first, you know, and then 3 years later you have Perry Wallace desegregate SEC basketball. And both coming from Pearl High School. And so I think those of us who live in Nashville these days are looking for those authentic pieces of Nashville. And there's nothing more authentic than that history of Pearl and Vanderbilt and Loyola tonight.
And just to make sure I get the names in here, Vic Rouse, Les Hunter, part of that 1963 team for Loyola. That was really pioneered by Harkness for the Ramblers. And, of course, Perry Wallace, as mentioned, 1966 coming here to Vanderbilt. Those are the key players. And I love this part, too, and I'm sure you know this, Andrew, the fact that George Ireland, the head coach for Loyola Chicago at the time, actually did try to recruit Perry Wallace to come to Loyola Chicago. And he said, I'm going to stay right here at home and be an important part of history.
That's right. Perry told me that story when I was writing the book, and he said that Ireland actually came during Perry's sophomore year, thought he was a senior, and was trying to get him up to Chicago, and Perry told him he had to wait a couple years. But, you know, Perry being the valedictorian at Pearl High School, the starting center on a team that won 3 straight state championships, you can imagine how highly recruited he was. And so it wasn't just Loyola and Vanderbilt, it was pretty much every school in the country wanted Perry, and we're lucky that he chose to stay in town, even though it was such a difficult assignment to desegregate the SEC.
Last thing for you here, Andrew. I think what is so cool is you get to share the history, but then again, you bring these people back as the Ramblers lead by 1 here. I'm curious, your conversations with the folks that are on the court here tonight, what it meant to them. You were down there presenting the jersey. What did it mean to them? How significant was it for them that tonight happened?
Well, I mean, if you think about the history of Nashville, the men who are here tonight that were teammates of Rouse and Hunter in the late 50s at Pearl, they wouldn't have been welcomed at Vanderbilt, right? And this is a time before the university had integrated not just the basketball team. So I think I'm very grateful that they have lived to see the day when they are welcomed. They're sitting in a suite right now, you know, as guests of this university, a university that told them back when they were kids that, you know, we don't want you here. And so that's significant history. I also saw Coach Valentine from Loyola sort of just looking at that video that was played before the game, just saying, wow, this is cool. You know, and it was really cool to see that it meant something to him also.
Miles Studi with the alley-oop, and they cannot finish at the rim with Jermaine. Man, we've got ourselves a good basketball game. Andrew, I'm going to let you go watch it. Thank you so much for your time again. Andrew Marinus, author of the book Strong Inside, that focuses on the story of Perry Wallace, an individual that means so much to SEC basketball and certainly Vanderbilt as well. Thank you for stopping by.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Shane. Good to see you all.
So, our score, Ramblers 11, Vanderbilt 10. And the Ramblers knocked down another triple attempt, and they go up by 4. That's such cool stuff, Shane, to have Andrew drop by the ceremony that we saw earlier today. We love the game. We love talking about the stats and the players, but like you said, there's no Shane Foster without the significant people that have come first. So it's nice to take a moment and recognize all of that stuff.
It really is, you know, and sometimes when we talk about history, we get the sense that we're so far removed from it, but we're not. Right. We're still able to give people flowers while they're still here for the contributions they made to American history, to Nashville history, to Commodore history. I mean, they've touched the lives of so many people, and somebody had to do it first.
Yes.
And so we're so grateful for them taking the courage that it took during those times to endure what they endured so that we can have many of the luxuries and opportunities that we have today.
In overtime. So, an NBA legend versus an up-and-coming coach here tonight.
Not only an NBA legend, but the best-dressed coach in college sports. You better believe it.
I mean, you've got different styles out here for sure. Jump shot is good here for Jermaine Mann. You've got a full suit, and he's not going to deviate from that. And I'm not knocking it, but you've got Valentine with a polo that's untucked. It's just different flavors for different people here tonight. So you talk about contrasting basketball histories. How about contrasting styles tonight?
Listen, 32 flavors came from Baskin-Robbins, so at the end of the day, you can have it however you like.
I've got a different preferred ice cream vendor here in Nashville. I'm not going to say their name because I don't know if they're a sponsor or not, but I've got a different preferred one.
Understand.
Pippen. Well, that's almost a patented Pippen lean in, try to get the foul right there. He didn't take it. Here's DeZoni, strong take, strong floater, spills off. Offensive rebound for Mann. Kick out for Pippen, rise and release. Boy, a lot of good on that possession, just the shot wouldn't fall.
Well, they're winning the 50-50 balls, and they're playing with great aggression, not passing up opportunities, trying to make some things happen. You want to see them getting into their offense a little faster and really understanding what they're trying to do. As Scottie Pippen Jr. draws a charge right there.
So that's picked up by Lucas Williams at his first personal foul, team's leader in scoring. Just a little bit of a lean in there for the newest member of the 1,000-point club.
Well, Scottie did a good job of keeping his hands up and playing defense with his body. He was able to cut him off and encourage the charge in that situation.
Pippen. Well, Scottie's got 5 points so far. He's 1 for 3 from distance, and he's 2 for 7 from the floor. Here's Ugwak on the drive.
He's not going to stop shooting, I can assure you that.
Speaking as someone who knows the feeling. There's Thomas on the baseline. Good handoff, and Jermaine Mann gets fouled. He's at the free throw line for a couple of shots.
That's an action the Commodores need to come back to pretty often. They started at the top of the key and did a little handoff and right into a ball screen. That's a very difficult action to guard, especially when you got somebody quick like Trey who's able to turn the corner on the big and then find the guy in the dunker spot. That's a tough action for the Ramblers to guard. Hopefully they'll come back to it again. You see it worked out for him getting to the free throw line right here.
Curious your thoughts on the addition of Jermaine Mann and what he's been able to bring to the Commodores so far this season, the transfer from Gardner-Webb.
Well, he plays with a level of aggression. He doesn't back down from anybody. Whether they're bigger, faster, doesn't matter. He's not going to back down. And so you need somebody on your team that's going to be an enforcer for you in that way. He's going to rebound. He's going to block a few shots. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. When guards are driving, you need a player with that kind of discipline, but that's going to play with that level of aggression as well.
Well, he checks out here as Quentin Malora-Brown goes back into the ball game. I asked it because it seems like, at least between Temple and so far tonight, that Coach Stackhouse is making a point of emphasis to put that level of aggression into the ball game for Vandy. Boy, what a cut and what a finish. That was smooth for Schwieger. Ryan Schwieger, the senior from North Carolina, a transfer from Princeton. Boy, do they run basketball smoothly there at Princeton, and he just did that.
Well, I think that was an intentional play. They came out and they saw that he was going to have a freshman guarding him right there, and so typically your freshmen aren't as disciplined as Scottie Pippen Jr. makes a tough layup at the basket. But that's why they were able to get that backdoor cut. Typically freshmen aren't able to really think through what's coming. They're just playing in that moment, and so he got taken advantage of.
There's the trap. It comes against Norris as he throws out of it. And a foul is picked up here against Terran Frank.
If you notice, the Ramblers, as they run their offense, they're looking for a certain thing. And once they get what they want, then the ball moves quickly, and they're forcing the Commodores to play defense on the run. They're not allowing the Commodores to set their defense, which is part of the reason why they're having such success on the offensive end, making 50% of their shots right now.
And not allowing Vanderbilt to set its defense is not just getting up and down the floor, it's with quick ball movement to get the rotations out of whack. Yes?
It's ball movement. It's getting the ball moving from side to side quickly. You see the quick passes right here. It creates the advantage, and then once you create the advantage, you just can't stop.
But Scottie Pippen with the steal off the glass. Got it.
Scottie Pippen Jr., he's in his bag today. He was sick last game, but he's not today. Giving you all of it. 32 flavors.
And 16 points away from 1,000 in his career. Back iron, no good. Rebound by Thomas. Knocked it out of bounds off of Vanderbilt. Well, here's one way to slow down that quick ball movement. You got to have quick hands, just like Scottie Pippen Jr. had.
Absolutely. And he gets in those passing lanes quite often. He does a great job of changing sides of the floor, which in transition is difficult to guard. And then he's giving you all that his bag has to offer. This guy has every single shot at the basket in his repertoire. As you saw, the Euro step off the glass, soft touch, high. I mean, what else do you want, Andrew?
I mean, he's got more in his offensive bag than you do. He passes the ball and comes up with a couple of assists, too, huh?
Well, he's a point guard. I play shooting guard. The name of the position is shooting guard.
You're the best, Jim. Got it. Corner triple is good. Swigger again. And I'll say this. I know we talk about the scoring and the offense for Scottie. He does so many different things. His defense has been better so far this season. He fills up a stat sheet in so many different ways that it's not just the points. Look at that pass, too.
Commodores are coming out, and they're not letting the ball stick either. They're playing aggressive, every single person on the floor. They're forcing you to guard all five, so they're going to come up with some good shots. And then you got, of course, Quentin Malloy-Brown on the inside coming up with some extra possessions. All five players on the floor. The only way to do that is to get the ball moving quickly and allow people to have the freedom to attack, but also know where their passing outlets are. So they're not just driving sporadically, they're driving with a purpose, knowing exactly where the ball is going in the event they can't get to the basket.
And it's led to 6 assists on 7 field goals made so far here for the Ramblers. Slicing and dishing for Pippen off to Thomas for 3. Boy, it has been a tough season for Trey Thomas. Just 6 3-pointers made so far throughout the course of 8+ ball games.
But that offensive possession is the shots that Vanderbilt wants. If they can play at that level for the entire game, it's going to bode well for them going down the stretch.
Now look at how well the Ramblers got back defensively, and they come up with a steal here, taken away from Ty Lawrence. In transition, Williamson slows it down.
See, even when the ball comes out of the post, it's moving quickly around the horn. That's really hard to guard because you never get a chance to set your defense. You're always on the move.
It's that whole the ball doesn't stick with an individual sort of thing that coach is talking about. Does the ball stick in his hand? For all of these guys with the Ramblers, it does not seem to stick. Thomas, there it is. If it's not going to go down from distance, get to the cup, get a close shot, and Trey Thomas just did it on the reverse.
Well, he did a good job of recognizing the mismatch. He knew he had a speed advantage, so he was able to use his quickness and then use the basket to put the ball up and in on the reverse layup.
St. Thomas right on through. His 6th 3-pointer made up the season, the freshman from Omaha, Nebraska.
Again, that's just created. It wasn't a set play, but it's created by the way that they play basketball. They're always going to get good shots because of the way that they play the game.
Here's Jordan Wright. He attacks strong, and he gets turned aside. The second big block of the ball game for Uguak. Just right off the fingertips. That was pretty.
Well, that was a passed up shot opportunity by Jordan Wright in the corner where he could have taken a three-point basket, but he tried to probe a little bit more. Didn't realize there was a size disadvantage. So once you get in there and you pump fake, if they don't go for the pump fake, it might be a little better to move the ball around.
Knocked away from Alora Brown. Stackhouse wants the foul, doesn't get it.
The Ramblers are actually running a similar offense when it comes to ball screens. That angled ball screen on the side of the floor, and then out of that creates the action, and you get a shot attempt on the other side of the floor.
So book it for Braden Norris. And the Ramblers take a 6-point advantage, 25-19, 4:19 to go here in this first half. Norris has 6 points on a couple of three balls here tonight. And one.
Pippen Jr. He's got a bag on the inside of the basket. Anytime he gets below that free throw line, it's a problem.
Feels like he's got multiple bags. It's like everybody's got one. Scottie Pippen Jr. seems to be playing with 3 or 4 or 5 to go to. Goodness, the tools that he's got.
He goes in one direction, kind of fumbles the ball a little bit, gives you a spin move, but doesn't lose his momentum and is able to give you a little stop and go, which gets the defense off balance just enough to create the contact and the and one.
You know, St. Thomas is just a freshman who had the defense on Pippen there. Whether he is, quote-unquote, the Ramblers' best defender or not, maybe Vanderbilt got the matchup that they wanted. There's no doubt that whoever Pippen is on is going to be a challenge defensively.
100%. He has the ultimate green light. Coach Stackhouse certainly wants him taking those shots when he can.
No good for Norris this time from the wing. Vandy is within 3 here with 3:42 to go first half.
When you get below that free throw line.
I mean, he's so good offensively, it feels like he's inventing his own flavors out here. So he's got plenty of tools to go with for sure.
It's like playing golf. If you got it in the bag, you can use it. Ramblers doing a good job of keeping this ball moving. They are not letting the Commodores defense get set at all. They're keeping the ball moving. They're moving themselves. The Commodores are having to really pay attention and focus on where the help can come from.
Foul against Vanderbilt here. Believe the foul goes against Lawrence. Goes against Studi, excuse me, his first personal foul.
Angle ball screen. The big finds the open guy. Hand down, man down. 3-point baskets.
Swish for Keith Clemens, the graduate from Norcross, Georgia. Well, we've touched on it, 80 points per game for Loyola Chicago throughout the first 10 ball games. They're 8-2 so far. They've won a Missouri Valley Conference game already. This one is out of bounds on the baseline there. They took down Indiana State. They played a Michigan State really well earlier this season, only lost by a bucket.
They're a really well-coached team. They defend well. They defend as a team. They play offense as a team. No one on their squad is disposable. Everybody has a role and responsibility, and they're playing it to the T.
Kick out by Melora Brown. And Drew Valentine is furious as he slaps a towel down on the floor here at Memorial.
Well, he's really looking for his team to do better finishing possession with the defensive rebound. Can't give the Commodores multiple looks at the basket. They have too many players that are skilled to do multiple things.
Hey, by the way, I mentioned the fact that Loyola Chicago played at Michigan State earlier this season. That's a cool moment for him for a couple of different reasons. First off, he was a graduate manager for Tom Izzo at Michigan State a couple of years ago. And more than that, his dad played at Michigan State back in the 80s. That was a real full circle moment for Drew Valentine. Everything but the victory, lost by just 2 back on November 24th.
He does a really good job. He's obviously been around the game for a long time, knows it at a high level, and is able to translate his knowledge into those players and to get them playing and executing at a high level as well.
Again, just 29 years old for Drew Valentine, but everything felt like he was the logical successor as Porter Moser went to Oklahoma, and 7-2 so far with the Sooners.
So you mentioned the Princeton offense. I definitely recognize the set that the Ramblers just ran as we ran that entire offensive set my freshman and sophomore year. Little Princeton style. He really creates a lot of options off of that play. So you got to guard literally the entire team.
Jermaine Mann, oh my goodness, everything but the bucket there. He gets the foul and heads to the free throw line for a couple of shots. That is picked up by Jacob Hudson. This is the athleticism, I would say, that brought him here to the SEC.
Well, he's a really good player. He's nimble. He's really got soft feet. As you see him able to sidestep the defense there, getting himself to the free throw line. He's a really good player.
How about that pass by Pippen, too?
You know, that's what the NBA guys are looking for. Guys that can not only score it and fill it up, but that can run a team. And using the pick and roll is all NBA. That's what they do every single possession. So him being able to use that ball screen, throw the little pocket pass, this kid's got a bright future.
You know, the 3 officials here tonight, Shane, Don Daly, Joe Lindsay, and Owen Short. I was giving you a hard time about Pippen having more in the bag when it comes to assist. How about the fact that Joe Lindsay officiated your career high in assists with 7 against Kentucky in 2007. So you had a couple of days where you decided, I'll give it up.
I give it up a little bit. I did pass the ball every now and then. And, you know, my teammates give me slack about it. But like I said before, I'm a shooting guard, so I shoot.
Off the glass and through for Miles Studi. I love the fact that when we talked about that before the broadcast, I said that was 07 that you had 7 assists. You said, oh, for sure, definitely my junior season. Was not going to pass it 7 times my senior season.
Listen, we had Derek Byers, who ended up being SEC Player of the Year in my junior season. So to be able to have somebody of that caliber to pass the ball to was an amazing athletic standpoint. You being able to Euro step or sidestep and then still have enough lift to get up over the rim is incredibly important when it comes to making those plays. The second thing is you're typically slicing the defense through contact. And so having the ability to be strong through contact and still finish. Then it's about putting the ball up over the rim. And a lot of guys tend to baby the shot as opposed to going up aggressive and getting it up high.
At the shot clock buzzer, and this one. Pippen with 5. He's doubled up. Off to Thomas at the buzzer. Boy.
And listen, at the end of the day, it's a recruiting advantage. You want people to come to this university and feel like they're at a top 25 university, and we have the ability to do that and really see the excellence in our sports that we see in academics.
So we are underway, and Loyola Chicago starts this half the same way that they finished the previous one. Great ball movement, and they knocked down a triple. It's Braden Norris, who came into this ball game leading the team in assists with 37. He's been on point from distance here tonight.
Well, they're doing a good job, as you stated, about moving the basketball, making sure that the Commodores are playing against a moving offense. Nobody gets to relax. Every single person on the floor can beat you at any given time. So you got to play discipline.
He's 3 for 5 from three-point range. Quentin Malora Brown looking like Scottie Pippen Jr. down low. Just getting the edge and finishing at the rim.
Showing you some great footwork right there. Keeping his balance. Showing you a little lefty off the glass.
Lucas Williamson on the kick to Ugwak. Vandy trying to come up with another turnover, but the Ramblers hold on to it with 3 to shoot. Ugwak has to fire. Stick back is no good, but a foul.
A little 50-50 ball that just didn't go the Commodore's way right there.
Here's that finish at the rim, by the way, for Quentin Malora-Brown.
See, he wanted to get himself a little closer to the basket around that charge circle, but he does a good job of keeping his balance, staying low, so that he has the lift to get up over the defense and make that basket.
That's 6'10" versus 6'10" with Jacob Hudson. It goes the way of Malora-Brown. The first free throw is no good here by Marquise Kennedy, a junior from Chicago. Boy, it was interesting to watch that offensive rebound because the Ramblers, I think, sent 4 back defensively, kept 1 on the offensive glass, and the 1 still came up with the rebound.
Air balls always go to the same team, 100% of the time. It's crazy how it happens, but it does.
Here's Pippen.
So Scottie Pippen Jr. does a good job of really controlling his body and his speed. He forces you to play at his pace, and because he controls how fast he goes when he wants to turn it on, as a defender, you're just guessing about when he's going to try to blow by you, when he's not. He got to step back in his game as well, so he's a really, really hard cover.
Here's an interesting question for you in just a second. As Wright looks for some space. Out of bounds. So, Lucas Williamson, a season ago, was the Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think we've seen him on Scottie Pippen Jr. at all here tonight. As you take a second look at this play by Jordan Wright, she stepped out on the baseline. Is that just because you don't want your guy getting in foul trouble? How come you wouldn't match him up with Scottie Pippen if a season ago he was the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference?
Well, there's a few different reasons why a coach would make that decision, not the least of which is, at the end of the day, Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to get shots. He's going to make shots. He's going to score. But if you're playing against the Commodores, you're thinking, I don't want these other guys to beat me. And so Scottie's going to do Scottie. If he's having a great night, he'll go off. If he's not having a good night, then you're probably going to win the game if you can control everybody else on the floor.
Well, he's got him here, so much for that. But I feel like we've seen a lot of Ugwak matched up with Scottie, and perhaps all of that happens right there on the switch. Not like it's been a box and one on Scottie Pippen or anything like that. Good finish right there. Miles Studi gets the floater to go.
That is a welcome sight for Miles Studi, putting the ball on the floor. He's typically been a catch-and-shoot guy for the Commodores this season, but it's certainly welcome to see him put it on the floor once or twice and go and create a basket.
Offensive foul, you bet, on Jacob Hudson. Look who is there, Scottie Pippen Jr. Again, he continues to be able to be a complete basketball player, taking the charge.
Giving up his body right there, and the coach wasn't too happy about this call. It's one of those plays that's really up to the referee's discretion, because the rules say you got to give a guy an opportunity to land. And so Scottie being there on the catch, that call could go either way.
Was he inside that restricted arc as well? I can see why Valentine might be a little bit frustrated.
Scottie Pippen Jr. again, he gives you so many fakes and he gets into your body and really does a good job. But here on the charge, you see Scottie Pippen Jr. He's a little bit outside of that charge circle, but typically you have to allow the guy an opportunity to land before you can take a solid charge. So that was a referee discretion call.
Works out for Scottie Pippen. And it goes right to the free throw line here.
Again, Scottie Pippen Jr. is really good at getting into the defender's body and using your body against you. Gets himself to the free throw line here. That's what makes him such a hard cover. He has great footwork, great control of his body, gives you all the fakes, but he's also getting into you and forcing you to make that contact, and that's why he shoots a lot of free throws.
And boy, he doesn't miss too many. He's about a 70% free throw shooter. Did miss the front end there. A substitution for Coach Valentine as Schwieger checks back in. Second on this team in scoring so far with 8 points here tonight. Second free throw goes down.
You typically won't see the Ramblers running a play that leads to an ISO, but they did in that possession, and it didn't necessarily work out well for them.
At the rim for Lawrence.
Tyron Lawrence has great athleticism, good quickness. He's lefty, he uses his body well, and he gets the Commodores an easy basket right there.
As Kennedy starts the offense here for Loyola. Out to Schwieger for three. That's offline. Battle for the rebound. It goes to Lawrence. Vandy wants to run, but the Ramblers have four back defensively. Chance for Vandy to take the lead. Off the back of the rim here for Jordan Rice.
I knew Jordan was going to shoot that ball because he hadn't gotten a shot in the attempt yet.
Boy, he's a next-level person, Lucas Williamson, and you can see it through his efforts both on the floor and off the floor, tying right back to that really significant team in 1963.
Well, it was an important time in American history, certainly in the history of that program. And listen, at the end of the day, guys in college play basketball at a high level. We're all good in high school. They all played well and very well coached, and that's why you play the game, you know. At the end of the day, what it says on paper is only one piece of it. But you got to go out and play the game, and those guys played well, and they won a national championship, and kudos to them.
And for those that are interested, it's called the Loyola Project that Lucas Williamson is working on. Both the producer and a narrator. It's expected to run during the Final Four weekend of 2022. Again, that's so cool. You get somebody that's plugged into that scene because of all of the work his dad has done throughout the course of his career in Chicago. And it goes down through the generations. Lawrence. Pippen is fighting for the offensive rebound, and he comes up with it. Scottie Pippen Jr. gets his first offensive rebound of the ball game. And a foul is called against Loyola. Goes against Schwieger.
Scottie Pippen Jr. trying to will this team to a victory. This is a last-second shot. Kind of got to put it up there. Scottie Pippen Jr. giving you a little bit extra effort, trying to will his team to a win.
3 personal fouls on Schwieger with those 11 points. All of that in just 10 minutes. You know, Coach Valentine wants him back on the floor. Here's Gabe Dorsey for the first time here tonight. Nearly turns it over. Stute through traffic. Defensive rebound brought down by Loyola.
You know, there are moments in possessions where you got to take advantage of it with a shot, or you take advantage of it with a pass, but it's really all about timing.
Flipped off the rim that time for Tom Welch, a junior forward from just outside of Chicago. Pippen trying to go to work, and it's knocked loose. Nice play that time by the Ramblers.
Well, those plays are good when they work, and when they don't, it's a play that shows up on film that's not what you want. Even though Scottie Pippen Jr. has done a good job posting up this year, you can get that later in the shot clock. You don't have to go straight to that and then give up possession. Little Golden State Warrior action right there with Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jermaine Mann getting himself to the basket.
Foul, you bet. He got himself the matchup with Tom Welch, and Jermaine Mann was more physical on the block.
The reason this play works is because you got some action happening. The ball isn't stopping and moving. You got guys cutting on different sides, so you can't get the help defense. You can't trap. And so he gets an opportunity to go 2 dribbles to the inside, strong move back to his left, finishing off the basket for the and one.
And Scottie Pippen's motion down the baseline opens up that left block just enough for Jermaine Mann to finish at the rim. And one opportunity here for the Gardner-Webb transfer.
Well, the defense never turns around. When you cut on the baseline, typically they follow you at least to the opposite side block. So you know, as the offensive guy on that block, you got at least a half second or 2 to get a shot off.
There's the double. Quick feed down low. And the Ramblers counter with an and one opportunity of their own. Foul goes against Lawrence on the finish by Chris Knight.
Great patience right there by Chris, making sure that he got the defender up in the air prior to him going up for his shot. He didn't dribble the basketball. He kept the ball at a place where the defense couldn't get to it, and he used his body well for the finish.
Lawrence just a little bit late on the help defense. That time opens up the space for Chris Knight.
Well, in that situation, if you're going to foul, you got to take away the shot opportunity.
Chris Knight, a really good player at Dartmouth, had 1,000 career points there.
Commodores trying to go back to man on the block.
We are trading and one opportunities. Trey Thomas gets his chance at the charity stripe.
When Scottie Pippen Jr. goes to the bench, you start wondering where the scoring is going to come from. Trey let you know, I got this. And one.
And I love the fact, too, we have touched on it. It has been difficult from distance for him this season. He's a great shooter. It's just been difficult. So what have we seen tonight's attacks the basket?
Well, he's a scorer. He's not just a shooter, but he's a scorer who can shoot. And he's showing you that he has a few things in his bag as well as he attacks the basket, sidesteps through the defense, and gives you a little kiss off the glass.
Well, once again, Vanderbilt has not led in this ball game since 8 minutes to go back in the first half. So 15 minutes worth of action in which the Ramblers have been out in front. But this is about as close as Vanderbilt has been in a minute. Down just 2 points with 13:02 to go here in this second half. Looks like Vanderbilt's going to start to set up a full court press. Or at least a little bit of something, maybe. Now they fall back.
Drew Valentine reminded me of Kevin Stallings over there calling plays with baseball signals.
It worked out, didn't it?
It worked out pretty. Beautiful play. Set up the ball screen. He knew he was going to have an opportunity to refuse it, so he took off hard and went and got his teammate a basket.
Out of bounds off of Vandy. It goes to Loyola.
As you see right here, you get a high ball screen. He comes off really hard and doesn't stop. As soon as Mr. Man takes a step forward, he gives up the ball with great time and gets his teammate a layup.
Is anybody, quote unquote, as that goes out of bounds, and I don't mean to single anybody out, but is anyone, quote unquote, at fault there? Like once that ball gets downhill, Man's got a slide. Like, where's the help defense coming from?
Well, Man is the help, but what you want him to do in that situation is make the offensive guy choose, right? You either want to take away the drive early and give your defender another time, your teammate, the chance to come over and help.
Got it.
Or you want to fake and come back. But you can't step up early late because then there's no help and you're giving up a layup.
Boy, and all of the passes have just been so efficient for Loyola of Chicago. The triple falls right there once again for Braden Norris, his fourth of the ball game. We've noted the fact that on all of the made field goals for the Ramblers throughout the course of the season, 61% of them have been assisted on. And here tonight, 13 assists to Vanderbilt's just 1. It's a different style of offense, so that's part of it.
Well,
but still,
the Commodores depend heavily on their one-on-one ability, and they make shots when they're getting to the basket. But the Ramblers are depending and settle in and regroup. They're constantly on the move, which means the help assignments are constantly changing. So it forces you to be disciplined. And the Commodores have a young team. So trying to figure that out, even though they've not seen a ton of offenses like this, is difficult at best.
Pippen on the front of the rim. Rebound. And
they're doing a great job of creating good shots for their teammates.
Well, 10-point ball game at this point with 11:20 to go. Certainly within reach here for Vandy, but it is starting to get critical. Triple attempt is off the back of the rim, no good. That time by Trey Thomas. It's saved on this sideline by Schwieger.
Trey Thomas looked like he was a little surprised that he was getting that three-point shot right there. Norris
thought about the three. Off to Schwieger.
Again,
why not?
Another three-point shot that doesn't go over her hand. The Commodores are really good at playing one-on-one defense, coming with the trap and forcing the offense to be uncomfortable. What they're struggling with is the extra actions that take away three-point shots in the flow of an offense.
Well, 53-40. Again, I would probably double down on what I just said a second ago. Not without an opportunity here for Vanderbilt to make a comeback, but it's starting to get critical with 10 minutes to go in this game. Again, Schwieger's been fantastic. 14 points in this ball game. He is second. It went from Norris to Schwieger, your top two scorers here tonight.
That was a great find right there. He probably gave up a good shot for a better shot, which is what you want your team doing, which is what leads to 54% shooting from the field.
And like what you said, he gave up a long two-pointer for a good look at a three, right? The coaches despise that distance two-pointer. Well, give it up, find that open three-pointer as Thomas goes to the bench here for Vandy. Ugwa off the front of the rim, no good there.
That was a miss. It was certainly a lightly contested three-point shot.
Foul against Loyola here goes against Chris Knights, the senior from Madison, Wisconsin.
One of the things that you see happening and the contrast between two teams, they're both running ball screen actions. Both teams are trapping the ball screen. The Ramblers are making sure that they invite the trap and they get rid of the ball quickly to the spot where they want to put the ball, and then they're playing off of each other from there. The Commodores are trying to probe and probe and probe and missing the opportunity to get rid of the ball quickly and create a 3-on-2 situation on the opposite side.
And I suppose it's worth saying this. It's not necessarily that one is the supreme offensive style. It's just that right now, the way that the Ramblers want to play offense, they're effectively executing it versus Vanderbilt is struggling to find its rhythm against the defense that the Ramblers are putting out there.
Well, what it comes down to is decision making.
Yes.
And so you got to be able to trust your teammates and get rid of the ball, knowing that when the opportunity comes, it's going to find you again.
Far more artfully said than I was trying to say. Here's Williamson.
Commodores did a good job of finishing the possession right there.
Defensive rebound brought down for the Ramblers. So far tonight, 26 rebounds for Loyola. And Vanderbilt has 24. Triple attempt is an air ball that time.
Well, again, going back to what we were talking about before, the Commodores have great players who can surely make shots. They can make tough shots, especially at the basket. But it's a little more difficult when that's what you're depending on constantly, as opposed to getting the ball moving and finding open shots.
I'll say this too, Shane. One thing that we talked about, and I know Coach Stackhouse talked about going back to the game against Temple, was setting better screens. And that time, Melora Brown did a sturdier job of setting the foul and setting the screen, and forcing the foul on Schwieger, who's got 4 now. So that was a nice improvement from the other day against Temple.
Well, it's what we said before. Anything that you do soft doesn't work out well. So whether it's setting a screen, it's driving to the basket, it's passing to an open man, it's shooting a floater, everything a part of the game of basketball needs to be done aggressively. Commodores going to a 5-out kind of set right here, trying to get exactly that.
Scottie Pippen Jr. 6 points away from 1,000.
Well, they saw that Scottie Pippen Jr. was being overplayed, and so they go to a 5-out set and give him the option to cut back door. He does so with great timing, finishes with the left-hand basket.
Right on throw, Jacob Hudson steps out and knocks it down. The 6'10" sophomore from Edina, Minnesota. He's got range to go with his length.
The teams that are hard to defend are the teams that make you guard all 5 guys. Typically, teams are going to have 1 or 2 guys that can really score. But those teams that make you guard all 5 are extremely hard to beat.
Positionless basketball on the kick out for Rice. 5 to shoot. It is good.
Trying to start the offense, and then you got to make sure that everybody is ready to move and create and be aggressive off the catch after Scottie Pippen Jr. creates the action.
And one goes through for Tyron Lawrence. He's got 7 points here tonight. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s got 19. Once again, he's 6 points away from 1,000 in his career. He would become the 50th Commodore to do that.
Scottie Pippen Jr. getting ready to join a list of great players who have come through this program year after year.
Defensive rebound by Malora Brown. Yeah, whether it's tonight or next Saturday against Austin Peay, he's going to get there. Offensive foul. It goes against Jordan Rice.
Andrew, this is what happens when you're playing against a set defense consistently. Sometimes it works out, but over the course of a game, you're going to get offensive fouls. Guys aren't going to be in position to do anything with it. When you do pass it to them, it leads to lower percentage shots, which is why the Commodores are shooting 34% from the field right now.
And just quickly, I did note that I didn't think Lucas Williamson was on Scottie Pippen Jr. a ton. He was just on him that last possession as he fires up a 3. That's no good for Williamson. Again, Williamson a season ago was the Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and he started to pick up Scottie Pippen Jr. a little bit more here in this second half. Out for 3. That's no good for Jordan Rice.
Jermaine Mann creating a new possession for the Commodores. But as you can see, when Scottie Pippen Jr. has the ball, he's got 3 or 4 guys looking at him. Again, they're playing against a set defense, which is the hardest defense to beat.
Strong take by Jordan Rice. Takes it to the rim on Brandon Norris and finishes with the right hand smoothly for 2. 5:45 to go here in the ball game. Ramblers by 7 as Memorial tries to come alive.
7-point game. The Commodores could use a stop right here. They go to the zone defense. They get the stop they were looking for, but they couldn't get the rebound to finish out the possession. You give teams that are good second and third chances at the basket. At some point, they're going in.
Especially on a night like tonight with Williamson getting his second 3-pointer of the ball game. He's got 8 points, averages 12 per game. Floater off the back of the rim, no good by Tyron Lawrence. Out to Pippen for 3. It just rolls off the rim.
Scottie Pippen Jr. wish he had that look back. It was a good look at the basket, probably one of the better looks that he's gotten tonight. Certainly capable of knocking that down. The Ramblers are moving this ball quickly. So all game long, they're playing against a defense that's running at them, and they're making the right plays as they get to the free throw line again right here.
It's been with lightning precision, I think, here for Loyola throughout the course of the ball game. Look at all of the probing, the extra bounce passes that time from Williamson, and just at the last second from Jermaine Mann picks up the foul.
Well, when you play at this pace, especially after an advantage has been created where you got the defense moving, they're coming to help. Now when you make a pass out and you attack the closeout, now you got options. And the defense really has to choose what they want to give up because they're scrambling. Do you want to give up the 3 in the corner? Well, they've made 2 or 3 threes. Now you don't want to give that up, so you give up the dump off, and they get that and they get to the free throw line. It's not for a lack of effort. Both teams are playing hard. Commodores are defending at a high level. The Ramblers' offense is just so crisp, and they're taking advantage of every opportunity and finding their teammates and playing together and creating great shots.
Yeah, just impressed with the coaching work of Drew Valentine, just 29 years old, believed to be the youngest coach at D1 basketball. Three ball is, you bet, good for Norris. Smooth from the wing.
And that's just confidence. That's just pure confidence. He knows he's hit a few tonight. He comes off, he has a little bit of space. The offense they were running didn't get what they wanted, so go ahead and knock down a three-point shot.
6 3-pointer by Norris here tonight. He's got 18 points. One-on-one here for Pippen. Tries to work on Lucas Williamson, who falls, fade, and fires an air ball for Scottie Pippen Jr. And we do have a Rambler still down. Father playing there, and Valentine was a graduate manager there. So that's knocked out of bounds, but he played his basketball in Oakland, which is where he helped pluck Brandon Norris from.
This is a great drive to the basket right here, and you know, this just comes from experience. You got to know when you beat somebody like that and you got them behind you, you got to change where that ball is attacking the basket, because they're certainly going to swipe on that side 100% of the time.
Boy, what a play. Look, everybody comes out at Norris thinking he's going to knock down the three, and his find was perfect to Jacob Hudson, and a strong finish.
Well, when you got a guy that's making shots, he's going to draw the attention, which is what he did. And the big gets the ball on the inside, but he passed the ball with great timing and precision, and he gets the dunk.
I feel like I just watched the perfect play action from a team that's been running at a 5, 6, 7 yard per carry clip. Everybody's coming up to the line of scrimmage for the run, and they knock you over the top with the fly pattern. Goodness, that was perfect.
Well, that's great execution on both sides of the floor. Unfortunately, the Commodores couldn't come up with a three-point basket right there. Norris doing a good job probing.
Well, 15-point game with 2:25 to go. Certainly this one is an advantage for Loyola as Scottie Pippen Jr. knocks down the free throw line jump shots.
Now that's something I'd like to see Scottie Pippen Jr. doing a lot more of. Coming down on the fast break situation, getting to his spot and pulling up. I think he can get to that shot a lot more consistently than what he's been able to do tonight.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or no, but part of me thinks if the Ramblers are going to win this ball game here.
Basketball, football, you got guys in the SEC that are on the biggest stage with the biggest lights, and they're figuring out ways to be successful and to do it at a clip where they get an opportunity to be named with some of the greats.
Did that significance grow on you as you got older? Did you understand it in the moments passing Perry Wallace when you did that, or did that grow on you as you got older?
I think it was my senior year before I really got to a level where I could appreciate that. I was so focused on getting better and being the best player that I could be and trying to help us win games that was the only thing on my mind. As I became a senior, the game slowed down and I was a little in more control of the outcome. Then I could turn my attention and focus to some of those other aspects.
Well, good thing here that Scottie Pippen gets up just fine. It's always a little bit scary when your guy, your 1A option, goes down like that.
You know, you talked about before, Stackhouse talking about we need to do a better job of setting good screens. That's on inbound plays, that's in the flow of the offense, and the Commodores unfortunately were unable to score on the out-of-bounds play in that possession because nobody set a good screen. You got to put a body on somebody and make actual contact.
Off the rim, no good for Jordan Wright. And it's to Loyola. Final 90 seconds here tonight. Ramblers lead by 13, so they're certainly angling their way to their 9th victory of the season. They had to need some buckets to avoid their 4th loss. Well, next up for Vanderbilt next Saturday, right here at Memorial against Austin Peay. That's a 1:30 tip-off here in Nashville.
Certainly a winnable game that I know they'll be looking forward to, especially after this tough matchup that they've had tonight.
Well, look, they were under no illusions that this team was probably the toughest that they've played throughout the course of this slate so far.
Well, it goes to the way they play the game of basketball, right? As you see them even in this possession right here, He comes up with the three-point shot that goes in without a hand in his face again.
So Williamson's got 11 here tonight. That's right on his season average.
The teams that are really good, the players that are really good, they're great at getting to great shots. And that's something that the Ramblers are doing, and my hat goes off to Drew Valentine, a phenomenal coach. Did a great job of getting his team great looks at the basket, from the way that they prepared, the way that they defended, the way that they ran their offense with high-level execution. They shared the ball. Nobody was trying to just take over, but their key guys stepped up when it was necessary and made shots when they were open.
18 assists here tonight for the Ramblers, plus their team shoots 17 for 36 from three-point range. That's 47%.
The most high percentage shots are those that are assisted on.
Well, Scottie Pippen Jr. goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line, so that puts him 2 points away from 1,000. He's got 23 here tonight, needed 25 coming in. Here's Uguak for the dunk. Well, I talked about play action, hit him over the top with a fly pattern. They just did.
Well, the Commodores are having to be a little more aggressive than they have in the past of this game, and they're in desperation mode. And so whenever you're in desperation mode, you have a higher propensity to make some mistakes.
Foul against Vandy, but let's take another look at that dunk by Miles Stute. That was something we'd like to see throughout the course of the season. Excuse me. No, that's Stute, yes.
Yeah, Stute has got some serious athleticism and is really able to play up above the rim, especially when he gets a running start at it like that. But, you know, the Commodores knew coming into this game that they were playing against a team that had some age on them. Guys that have been around, has won a lot of games, been in a lot of tough situations. So they know how to win. They know how to play poised. They're going to run their offense consistently. You're not going to rattle them, regardless of whether you're playing zone or you're playing man-to-man. They're going to play basketball the way they want to play the game, and they came in and executed that today.
Will Alcock checks into the ball game, just his 5th game of the season. Trey Thomas will check in. Scottie Pippen Jr. will go to the bench, so it does look like we'll have to wait till next week for 1,000 for Scottie Pippen Jr.
Scottie came out, he was aggressive, he played hard, and truly gave his absolute best to try to put his team in position to win today. Going into SEC play, certainly the Commodores are going to have to figure out a way to get some more assisted baskets to really create for each other. They're going to have to find a way to get some easy baskets.
Final 10 seconds here tonight. Miles Stute for 3.
That's something that certainly he has in his bag. He's a really good